Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. And this week I've chosen to unpack the Bible a little bit. And so let's talk about the Bible in terms of what it is. I know a lot of folks think of this as the book, and the reality is it's not. It's a library of books. In fact, this is kind of the Christian library. It's kind of our agreed upon lowest common denominator of all of us. We all agree God speaks through these texts, and this is our library that we go to for common reference with one another and to have something to share with each other as we talk. So it's a library. And like most libraries, if you go into a library, there are lots of genres and categories. There's fiction and nonfiction. And within those two big categories, there's a bunch of other categories. There's music and there's poetry. There's theological history. These are the things you'll find in the Bible, by the way. You'll find things like the Psalms that are the worship book for the people of Israel and the Hebrew people. You'll find prophetic teachings where the prophets speak on God's behalf to those in power and to the nations. You'll find theological histories, places where God is seen as orchestrating everything, every little activity, who dies and who's not. It's looking at history through a lens that says God is in ultimate control. You'll find conversations about good, bad, and evil, and why do bad things happen to good people? Proverbs, the book of Job, Ecclesiastes. You'll find stories about people struggling and the struggle of Israel and struggling to hear and find God in the midst of their lives. That's what you'll find in Ruth. You'll also find it in Esther. You'll find it in a beautiful months of stories. You'll find stories about Jesus in the Gospels. You'll find letters that Paul and others wrote to the church to try to help navigate the church. These were all things that were written down and were not anticipated to even be a part of this. You see, the Bible is a library. It's filled with all kinds of literature and all kinds of things that we can be a part of. It's even beyond the genres. It's broke up into separate books, and within the books, there are these numbers. If you've never read the Bible before, you'll find that there's these numbers within chapters, which we're familiar with chapters in different books, but also we took the time to even put verses. In other words, we took every chapter and we broke down the sentences into verses so that we would have the ability to go and look and find with each other and dialogue with each other. You see, the Bible was put together and slowly through history became our common library in which we were meant to have dialogue, discussion, even conversations with things we don't agree upon by talking about it with each other. I'm proud of you for choosing to read the Bible. I'm so glad you're going to join in doing this. Begin reading it, and now you understand a little bit more about how it's put together and why it's put together so that we can be better together. Amen.